Step 4, tailoring your website. Your website should reflect your coaching model, position, and clientele. Plan your site before making any changes. Mind maps can be helpful, or just use a pen and paper. My daughter likes to draw little bubbles and scribbles on paper. I love to use mind maps, and one of the things about mind maps is that you can actually drill deep. You can get really complex with a mind map, but you can also lay out simply what you want your website to be. You can have a client area, you can have a progress area, you can have a goals section. You can create the kind of accountability for your clients in your website that will, one, help them get through your coaching program, but two, it also helps you spend as little time as possible with one-on-one answering questions with them, because you can actually point them to pieces of your website. So make your website something that's really going to help you out a lot. Make sure that you design it before you jump in to actual rebuild or creation of the website itself. Make sure that it's designed appropriately. Now, here's something else that we need to talk about, and this is tailoring your website with your ideal client in mind. You want to identify who you are really talking to the point that you will be able to actually call them by name, have a picture of them on the wall, and understand who you're going after as coaching clients. This is an example on the screen here of a guy that's called Saddleback Sam. Saddleback Sam was the avatar for the Saddleback Church in California. And you'll notice it says here he's well educated, he likes his job, he likes where he lives. Health and fitness are high priorities for him, himself, and his family. He'd rather be in a large group than a small one. That tells you something about his personality type. He's skeptical of organized religion. He prefers the casual and informal over the formal. He's overextended in both time and money, which means that he's got some problems he needs to work on. He's self-satisfied, even smug about his station in life, so he's successful, or he's almost arrogant a little bit. It's interesting that that's there. He thinks he's enjoying life more now than he did 5 years ago. So this is somebody who's progressing up. So this is the guy that they've identified from a personality type as well as a financial statement type. We get a good idea about his money. He's overextended. That tells us two things. One, he's not afraid to spend, and two, that he is not overly wealthy, right? He's not overly wealthy because he's got debt. So you start with your ideal client, you print out the specific details about her background and coaching needs. You glance at the profile to keep you focused all the time on who you're writing for, who you're going after, whether they fit your coaching program or not. You create the perfect sign-up incentive for those people. It doesn't have to be free, but it always helps if you've got something free to get people in. A $1 trial to your elite membership site may work. We use the $1 trial a lot, and we use other coaching incentives as well, and those work really well. Don't follow what every other coach is offering. You want to be unique in your offers, by the way. Could be, a week's worth of audio tips. It could be a week's worth of video tips. It could be an ebook. It could be a report. It could be a cheat sheet. It could be an infographic. I'll show you an example of one of those in a few minutes. Wealthy people often shy away from free gifts. So, the $1 trial, $7 trial, those kind of things actually work pretty well. Now, we have an entire program about this, and our Insiders Club members get this, called the Opt-in Funnel Creation, and it's to help you create the perfect opt-in funnel. So if you do our $1 trial that we told you about in the beginning, you're going to get access to that and to be able to create your opt-in product right away. So tailoring your incentive. Sign-up incentives should instantly solve a problem or save them time. And the best thing to remember is one problem, one solution. How will you present your incentive? Doesn't have to be an ebook. We talked about that a little bit earlier. How unique is your offering? It needs to be something they can't really get anywhere else. And is there a demand for your incentive? Have you done the market research? Is this a problem? Is this a solution that you've created that doesn't have a problem? So you want to make sure that you are really solving a problem. Here's an example I told you about. This is a infographic here on the right about A/B split testing. And so we have, in our community, we have a lot of folks who don't understand A/B split testing. And once they get this infographic, they have a little chart that they can put on their wall and understand A/B split testing and how to improve their conversions. And so we give this away to people as an incentive to come in. You create content that makes people want to sign up. You present content in the format your ideal client enjoys the most. You present it regularly and repetitively. Remember, repetitively. It's important to put that piece of content out there over and over and over, because you may think you're getting really tired of it, but you're just a drop in the bucket, because there's a gazillion people out there who haven't seen your content, don't know who you are. You want to make sure you're getting that in front of as many people as possible, so you have to be repetitive with your offer. Videos, blogs, blog posts should have the same repetitive format so people recognize it as yours. That's branding we're talking about there. Make sure it has your look. Make sure it has your logo on it. Use calls to action for people to sign up. In other words, that's the little button where people ask for your email address and first name, and you click that, you get it. We only deliver ours, by the way, via email. So if you don't give us a real email address, you don't get the incentives. We always want to make sure we're getting the real email addresses. You offer different types of calls to action. So you might send people over to a Facebook group, a free Facebook group, to pick it up in the Facebook group. That way they have to join your Facebook group to get it. So there are different ways of doing this. So here's a case study, Bernadette Doyle TV. BernadetteDoyle.com. Her videos are formatted the same way. You can see there's hidden money on the starts from the right. Hidden money in your business part 1, hidden money in your business part 2, hidden money in your business part 3. Those all look like they are part of the same presentation, because they are. They're part of the same course that she's doing. She offers 2 ways to subscribe, email or YouTube. So getting people on a list these days is there's many different ways to get people on a list. It could be your Facebook list, it could be your fan page list, it could be your Instagram followers, it could be your YouTube channel. So you want people to sign up however they want to sign up, and then you can move them from place to place. So her website layout, if you go to visit BernadetteDoyle.com, you're going to see that it's incredibly crisp and clean, and it's all focused on presenting her as somebody that can help you, and it's very smooth. Take a look at it. All attention is given to the video titles, date, and summary, and subscription options. All of these are done above the fold for maximum attention. So when you're tailoring your website, make it all about your client. It should be as if you were sitting down and asking them questions and writing down the answers for what they're giving you. You should be inside their head as you are creating your website. Acknowledge and show your client how to overcome her main vulnerabilities. Content should contain more you messages than I messages. In other words, you're in their head, you're using their words, you're talking to them about their problems, not your problems. The only time you talk about you in the I message is how you can help. You tailor your posts, your products, your incentives, and your resources around your client's most pressing needs. If you don't know what the problems are in your niche, that's your first step. You've got to figure out what the problems are and how to present solutions to those problems. Here's Amy Porterfield. Amy Porterfield is a master of simplicity in her coaching. You'll see here, this is definitely professionally done. You can see that we're talking here about professional coaching photo that works. You're going to put these photos in your headers. You're going to make sure that you are getting something that looks really good and being really attractive to the people. And I don't mean in the sense of how you look, but attractive to the people in how you interact with them. So look what her headline is. Hi, I'm Amy. All she's doing is introducing herself to you. And that right away gets you to read the next paragraph. And the next paragraph tells you that I teach business owners, educators, and entrepreneurs the profitable action steps for building a highly engaged email list, creating online training courses, and using online marketing strategies to sell with ease. Let's get started. That's an incredibly inviting image She's looking directly at you. And so if this is being targeted to the right clients, she's engaging immediately from the very first page. Notice the direct eye contact. She's looking right at you. Watch out for subliminal messages or body language in your photo that you don't like. Notice here, though, that she's got a little bit of a tilt to the left, and it looks much, much more informal than if she were squared off looking straight at you. Body language is really important. Be conscious of what's in your background area. Everything is blurred out in the background, but if you look at it, you see it's a little bit darker. It's blurry. You see pictures on the wall. You see a lamp. You see a couch. You see a table in the background. This looks like Amy's living room, and it may be, but she's inviting you into her home with this picture. So sticks, create your calls to action. Create more than one call to action. Give your clients multiple ways to contact you. Include a QR code to a free webinar call, 20-minute consultation, or some other goodie. So 82% of the world's population are mobile users. Make sure that your website is going to work for them on mobile. You can create your own QR codes with your own branding, which are great for mobile, at qrstuff.com. So this is a really important point. You want to make sure that your call to actions get people into your system. One of the things that we do is at namsassessment.com, namsassessment.com, we give people a 30-question questionnaire to help them identify the areas in their business that is most crucial to them right now, most essential to them right now, because it identifies the openings, the weaknesses, the areas they need to improve on. And we help people do that first before we get them to free strategy calls. 7, optimize your site for SEO. Now, SEO is pretty simple with the tools that are available today for WordPress. So don't be thrown off by this SEO advice that we're giving you here today, because getting your SEO done is pretty simple using the tools that we talked about. Use your specific keywords naturally. That means writing. You use the keywords in your writing as they would fit, not as they are stuffed. You want to make sure that you write naturally, because that's going to go a long way to endearing you to Google. You want to claim Google Web Authorship and paste the code into your Google Plus profile and website. Be choosy about accepting guest blogging roles. Choose only those platforms that are highly relevant to your audience. Stay up to date on SEO changes. Keep your SEO as natural and as organic as possible. Don't make a big deal out of it. Okay, so we're going into the workbook. Complete step 4 in the workbook that you've downloaded, and you want to make sure that you go through the checklist to ensure you're not missing any of the important steps that we've talked about. Okay, and the next step is step 5, and it's the last that we'll deal with today.